Kate Herbert in the studio to tell us about all things digital and theatre and bits and pieces. Good morning, Kate.
Good morning, and happy to be called lovely and etc. Thank you for that. And good morning, everybody. I'm talking today, rather than talking about shows that I've seen in the theatre in this last fortnight, I'm going to talk about works that are available online still, digitally. As some of you may know Philippa, that I have that there was a lot of work during COVID that was produced online because there was a problem with the theatres. They were closing down, no one could perform. So some actual live productions shifted to create online versions of their shows. They were quite different from the stage versions. But what's happened subsequently over this past period of time, particularly the last 12 months, is that companies have created digital versions, filmed versions of their plays, much in the way that the National Theatre has done in the UK. And you can see those in the cinema. You can also book them online, etc. So, for example, some of these shows that are at the Melbourne Theatre Company's digital theatre, and La Mama on Screen, I'll talk about those two, I have seen in the theatre. Some I have not. A couple I've seen just as digital. For example, just recently, this week, I watched The Heartbreak Choir, which was Aiden Fennessey's last play, which was absolutely gorgeous. I wanted to see it in the theatre. I was a bit nervous about being in a crowd. I was seeing a lot of things online. I would write in reply to invitations and say, will they have a digital version? And often they would at that time. So that one I just didn't feel comfortable going to the theatre yet. So I saw it just this week, and it is absolutely a lovely production, beautifully performed with Maud Davey, who's one of my faves, William McInnes, Lou Siverson, a lot of lovely a cappella singing in it. But it is so well filmed that you get the sense of the theatre, and the sound is really good for the spoken and sung voices. You get a really strong sense of not just the story and the performance, but the stage as well. So Heartbreak Choir is on the what's called MTC Digital Theatre, and there I'll tell you about some of the others. You go to the mtc.com.au and you can find plays and tickets, what's on MTC Digital, or just search for MTC Digital. Now keep in mind that if you don't use a computer or a laptop, desktop or laptop, find someone who has one. You can book it and view it together. If someone's got a big TV, even better. I view it on the computer. It's $25 to access that, and they give you 2 days. As soon as you click play, you've got 48 hours. But if you haven't clicked play yet, it's not running out. You're not running out of time. So that's terrific. You can say, I can't watch it today. I'll wait till next week or next month. You create an account, it's in your My Videos, etc. They'll explain it to you. But I'll tell you the other things that are on that site. I particularly liked, another one I saw live was Berlin, Joanna Murray Smith's play, which I saw live last year, but I've seen it now twice digitally. And that, again, translates very well to the screen. And it's a very interesting play about a young Australian man going back to Berlin and his meeting in an apartment with this young Berliner, a woman. He's looking at his history. I won't give it all away in case you watch it. There's also Slap Bang Kiss by Dan Giovannoni, which I've seen only online, translates very well to digital, has 3 performers, and it's been very successful in Year 12 VCE. They're using that because the issues are very interesting. The As You Like It, the Shakespeare, is also up there, which I saw live. I haven't seen the digital version, but I know that their production values for their digital are very good. And Sexual Misconduct of the Middle Classes, Moscovitch play, which I saw live again, haven't seen digitally, very interesting play. So you've got 5 to choose one from there. And the performances are very interesting. I can tell you that they're all, viable, successful and interesting plays to look at. You can have a read of what they're about on the site, and then decide if you want to see one, or if you like one more than the other. And for some of these, particularly Berlin and Sexual Misconduct and As You Like It, my review of the stage show is on my blog. You can just go look for Kate Herbert Theatre Reviews, you'll find it. So anything I've seen recently will be up there too, as well as all the digital things I've seen. The other, I can come back to those if necessary, but I'd like to just mention also La Mama on Screen. It's called La Mama on Screen. Cheaper again. It's only $10 for a ticket to that. There's also a bunch of stuff on the La Mama on Screen site which is freely available. There are some La Mama Musica, some La Mama Cabaretica. You get an idea of what that is. La Mama Poetica, people doing poetry nights, music nights, cabaret. And some of those are 30 minutes. One is an hour and a half, I think. And they're freely available, those ones. You just click on them. So just go to the La Mama site. La Mama is in Carlton, small theatre that was rebuilt. And let me tell you, when that theatre burnt down, my play was the one that was in the theatre. And Philippa's face is aghast. We had done 3 nights, and on the Saturday morning, one of my actors called me at 8 a.m. and said, I was asleep, "Hi, Kate, La Mama burnt down last night." I went, "Yeah, sure it did." No, I'm serious. It really did. At 2 o'clock in the morning. We didn't do it. Wasn't our fault. Sounds like Bart Simpson. I didn't do it. But our show, my play, Bully Virus, that we were performing was in there, and we then had to move it to several other venues. It was very stressful, but not as stressful as having had the theatre burn down around us. Lost a lot of stuff in that. So La Mama's new venue, I'm about to say, is where these shows are filmed, and some of them at the courthouse, which is round the corner, Carlton Courthouse. But La Mama is still on that same site in Faraday Street, and it's a beautiful new building on the footprint of the previous one. At present, there is just one full play that has gone to the digital season. It's called Curveball. I just got the link to it last night, so I've not seen it to tell you about it. That's live online for 2 weeks. What they do at La Mama is the companies can choose to have their production recorded, and they pay a fee to have someone do these multi-camera recordings. I didn't say about the MTC. Multi-camera, it's very interesting. La Mama does it in their venues, and then that company has that live stream on a Friday evening, and people can watch it or view it later for 48 hours. Then it will have a digital season after it finishes its live season. So at the moment, there's Curveball. On the 30th of September, Measure of a Moment has its live stream on that Friday evening, and that's available over the weekend. And I presume that it will then have a digital season at the end of that period. So those are the 2. But as I said, there is also Cabaretica, Musica, Poetica that is freely available. Go on the site, just do a search for La Mama, have a look at what's on, and there she be. Similarly with the MTC, just have a hunt for MTC Digital. The other thing is the Seniors, this is my last, the Seniors Festival Online has radio plays and a bunch of other things that you can view, listen to, music, etc. Now, here's another, it's not a disclaimer, but just information. I have a play that was commissioned for this year's Seniors Festival Online. They did Radio Reimagine during COVID. They haven't produced that yet. It might be delayed till next year. It might not get done. Don't know. But I can certainly let you know that there are 4 radio plays available: Salt, The Dirty Mile, Stray, and Marvellous. And if you go to the seniorsonline.vic.gov.au and look for the festival performances, you'll find those, and also music and stories. They're all freely available. You don't have to pay for those, and you can just listen to them at home. So they're radio. So that's my package.
It's excellent, because the bottom line is, whether you go out or stay home, yes, you can still experience the arts.
Yes.
And you can still experience the best that Melbourne has to offer.
And you can see theatre without going to the theatre.
Exactly. Kate Herbert, thank you for your time.
Pleasure.